Welcome to Tech Queens Rising 2026. In celebration of International Girls and ICT Day 2026, we warmly welcome you to this life-changing experience. To every girl, young woman, parent, professional, and participant joining us, we are truly honored to have you here. This is more than just a program. It is a movement, a moment of awakening, a space where dreams are nurtured, skills are built, and confidence is ignited. Over the next 3 days, you will be exposed to powerful digital skills, inspiring conversations, and real opportunities that can shape your future, whether you're just starting or looking to grow. You belong here. You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be willing to learn and take a step forward. As we begin this journey together, we encourage you to stay open, stay engaged, ask questions. Believe in your potential, because within you lies the power to create, to lead, and to transform your world. You are a tech queen in the making. Welcome once again. Let's learn, build, earn. And risetogether.com, a Tech Queens Rising 2026. Your journey starts now.
Most parents are like, okay, how do I want my child to break into tech? You see parents enrolling their kids into different tech programs and the likes. So let's dive in. See, and I mentioned earlier that I'm also very excited to be here with you today, especially to celebrate the ICT Day for Girls. I hope I got that right. So I want to start by saying that today I'm not here as a speaker alone, but I am here as someone who has also walked this journey. How I was able to, you know, now I can say broke into tech, right? But now we are talking about breaking into tech. But how was I able to do it? And then it's going to be a storytelling, and I want it to be highly interactive. So here we go. Now, tech can look confusing from the outside, I must say. Please feel free to okay. I think we'll take question at the end, right? So I will make sure as I am as moderate as I can be. But please take notes of your questions. I am just looking at the screen I am sharing. I'm not looking at the Google Meet, so I might not see if there are interaction or messages for me. So I'll just continue. Now, like I mentioned earlier, I mentioned that tech can look confusing from the outside, right? It can feel like something only a few people understand. Oftentimes you look at that like, oh, okay, maybe you have to be in a certain way, you have to perceive as a certain person before you can be into tech. Well, I'm here to show you that it's not out of reach. It's actually one of the most uh, um, one of the most opportunity, one of the most powerful opportunities um, that is available for you today. That's actually what I'm here to let you know. I hope my screen is still showing because I see something shaking from my end. But can I confirm that you can still see my screen?
Yes, ma'am, we can still see your screen.
Okay, all right. Thank you for that confirmation. Okay, so let's dive in. Now, I have here, nobody actually teaches you how to start. I can tell you from my own journey. It wasn't as if I was sat down, I was taught that, oh, this is actually where to start. Let me be honest with you. Nobody actually really teaches you. And you basically see people, um, you know, building apps, working in big companies, earning well, and you'll be wondering, How did they even get there? Right? I want you to look at it from that angle, from the angle of, okay, how did these people even get here? Um, Not from the angle of, oh, okay, you can go to tech school and you can learn about HTML, or oh, let my child just enroll for coding, and then they will know how to build some stuff in Scratch, or they will know how to do some JavaScript, and they can build a website. So you see a lot of people, you see some people building app, working in big company, earning well. You'll be wondering how they get there. I have also been there too. And the truth is, most people don't have that perfect plan. No one has that perfect plan, right? Everyone started confused. People started unsure because it doesn't look as if you started right. You know that you have the end in mind. Like, okay, maybe when I learn about a particular stack, by stack I mean maybe you learn a particular programming language, you will be able to contribute in certain way. But what if that is not where you are going to end up? I'm just trying to let you see how you can potentially break into the tech and be seen as that tech sis and the tech. Okay, we are talking to the sis today. I don't know how. Well, for the other hand, the tech bro, right? Well, I'm talking to the tech sis today. So like the tech sis, right? Um. So the truth is, sometimes most people don't have that perfect plan, right? They started confused, they started unsure, but then they started anyway. You started anyway. So taking it back to me, I started anyway. But how I started was me being curious. If I want to tell you, um, it was just me staying curious. I have a sister that she showed me. Then that was it. That was the days of using CRT, using Word Art in Word in Word 95. Not even Word Microsoft Word, like we used to call it Word 95. I think I've been around as at that time to know how computer and how technology has evolved. So if I can be around from as far back as that, and I am still here, you know that I have a lot to tell you. That it wasn't as if I started off with that plan of yes, I'm sure of how I'm going to be today because technology keep evolving. There are a lot of things in technology, a whole lot of things, and I want you to know that it's not the way it seems like. Okay, maybe it's for a kind of set of people. It's actually for everybody. At the end of the day, you will see exactly where my talk is leading. Now, I want to continue by saying this that one of the biggest misconception also about tech is that maybe it's only about coding. Okay, let my child just enroll for um, Scratch or enroll for one robotic class or just get some of these tools and build some robots. Or, excuse me, or maybe, oh, AI. So it's a misconception about tech because it's not only about coding. Tech is not even just coding. Tech is basically about solving problems. I want to pause. Tech is about solving problems, real problems, everyday problems, business problems, right? Human problems, just name it. You would go to the hospital, for instance, and then let's say you have been in an hospital where at the reception they are searching your name to look out for your name and note the HMO that you belong. It's tech that has solved a particular problem in that instance. You go to the shopping mall, you are checking out, and then someone is typing on the screen to add your items to cart and be able to issue a receipt and want to check out. It's tech that has solved the problem. At this, if I don't let us go too far, me being in my home and engaging with you on this call is tech that has solved problem. So it's basically about solving problem. And in solving this problem, there are different moving parts. So it's not just only someone just wake up one day and say, okay, yes, how do I make people interact with each other? I am here in my home, you are at your different locations, and we are here having a conversation. It's tech. So it's not just only the code that has solved the problem. So it's not only about the code. There are different moving parts. There is a part where the idea was concept. There is a part where documentation happened. There is a part where the designing was established. There is a part where the flows, how will it connect to each other, was established. There is a part to, okay, now it is ready. How will people use it? there is a role that someone has to play in that instance as well. So there are multiple moving parts, and these are key players that individuals are playing. Everyone playing role that has made it possible for me to be here and to be able to talk to you via this platform without having to leave my home as a role to play in technology. They have one way or the other broken into technology and play a vital role in solving one of the challenges or one of the problems in one of the human problems in communication or in hosting webinar or in host, just name it. It's one of the human problems. So in my career, right, I've evolved from different roles, from the role of being someone who type like more like maybe I should call myself computer operator, just to use that word, like where I basically learned how to type words so fast and up to today. In fact, sometimes when I try to measure my speed of how much words I type in a minute, sometimes I go to 80, sometimes I go to 100, depending on how short the word. Maybe you're just saying, maybe I'm typing two-letter words or three-letter words, or I'm actually typing long words. I could see that, oh, I actually did this multiple paragraphs in this, just in 1 minute. I was able to type this multiple words rather in this minute, in 1 minute. So I evolved from that to data analyst, where when it wasn't even called a data analyst, where we basically just analyze data, evolved into network engineer, evolved into software developer, evolved into now more of automation, managing business process engineering. At the core of everything, right? There's just one thing that lie there. How do you solve that problem? How do you solve it? Do you solve the problem faster, better, and smarter? So I want you to relate in that way. That is the underlying tone of breaking into tech. That is just what tech is. It's basically about solving problem. Nothing more, nothing less. So I wanted to establish that and note carefully that tech is majorly about solving problem. And you can hold a position, hold a responsibility in the different harm that constitutes into solving a particular problem in a particular place. So there is a place for you, and I want you to know that. So it's not just like I mentioned earlier, it's not for maybe I know how to code alone. No, everybody has a place. Just in my last example as well, we all have a role, we all have a place, we all have responsibility to play in IT or in technology. You could find yourself being a builder, you could find yourself being in business, and you could find yourself in creativity. So I don't want to move now. You could find yourself in creativity. Now, what that says is, as a builder, it could be that, just to confirm, my system is Miss Baby. Can I see the head?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. Thank you for that confirmation. Now, if you find yourself in a situation where you are a builder, right, um, or letting you know that you can exist in tech as a builder, it implies where you have that curiosity mindset where you could play a vital role in building solutions, right? You could play a vital role in building solutions such as understanding how I'm trying not to use coding, but at the same time I'm leaning towards using coding. So where you have a kind of mindset that is curious, it's interested in creating stuff, and there are different tools to learn to be able to relate with, to then now be able to situate yourself that, okay, I think I'm leaning towards building solution. So there's a place for you. Now it could be that, okay, I can function in business, just like I mentioned earlier. You could function in business, i.e., I could be leading a team. I could have that business idea. I could could be able to um, uh, um, create a business solution or function properly in a business setting where I would be able to contribute by creating different use cases that can solve, some problems. So, for instance, I had mentioned earlier that you can be you can solve human problems. Tech can solve human problems. It can solve, different kind of problems, right? So some of us would be able to build, some of us will be able to design, some of us will be able to manage the products or manage that solution. So let me try to bring it up. Um, let's say, for instance, now even this Google Meet that we are using to have this webinar at this time, um, for us to have been able to get to where we type meet.google.com, there are individuals who had created that interface. They are playing a role. There are some folks too, individuals who are in charge of the business. Most of it, sometimes Google Meet is not entirely free. You have some of the premium. So now let's take it to tech. Now, having the skills does not equate to the tools. What skills basically means is to that most of all exhibits, right? I'm just trying to show you ways you can break it into tech. And you can see that if you reflect as you go on, you realize that you are even entitled or the criteria to be in tech. So you just need to situate yourself, you just need to position yourself appropriately. So now, let me tell you something again about skills. So skills are not just about the tools, like I mentioned. Knowledge, knowing tools is very good, very, very good. It gives you an edge, right? Um, but I tell you, tools change. They change. I have been around for a while in tech. Back in the days when we were coding, when we build software solutions, when we build enterprise solutions, the way we used to build it. Don't let me even talk about AI now that is rapidly challenging a lot of situations. But back in the days, let me just if maybe I can just mention it won't be too much of a jargon, right? When I want to build a web application, or I'm building it for build for hospital, I build for hotel, I build for schools. So now let me just do a dry run of how I built a typical school portal. That will have the not just the website this time, managing the school results, registration, reports. I have handled it single-handedly, and I've also handled it with team, right? The way we used to build it back then, you know, I want to establish this skill and tools so that you will see that you are already in tech. The way we used to do it back then is was I used to write C sharp, and then I use Microsoft Visual Studio. I tell you, the way Microsoft Visual Studio was looking back then, it's not the way it's looking now. Tools will always change, but your skill and the ability to solve problems, that is what you need. So that when the tool changes, you will adapt. So I hope I am driving you and I'm making you to see why you might already be in tech. Now, what will not change is just your own ability to think. It won't change. You can only keep improving it so that as long as tools keep evolving, you are able to also adapt. Now, tools everywhere you go now, right now, even even Visual Studio Code is saying AI. Now, if I had remained with what I was doing back then, do you think I would still function? No. Even without anybody telling me yes response, I already know I will not function. So, my dear girls, Moms and dads that are on this call, please note that one key skill, one key thing that you need to have as the tool or as what would give you that level of comfort to ask yourself or to reflect on the earlier question I asked is your skill, is your ability to solve problems. Because that is one thing that will not change. You will keep adapting yourself. You know, I said I've evolved. It's still the same mental ability to solve the problem while I was building a school portal, and then I'll use Visual Studio Code to write the code, to build entity layer, to build the we're using model, view and controller. Nada. They're not they are like that, but they are like that in a different way now, right? So it's still the way I must have solved it back then to say, okay, I'll build my model layer here, my entity layer here, what will be driving it will be here. Yeah, back then. But then now, tools have evolved. There are AI, there are ways you can build it faster, there are ways you can think faster, there are ways you can solve it faster. So you can see that that skill is still there. And that is why once you are in tech, you can always evolve. You can evolve. You can evolve. I've evolved. I mentioned how I've you know moved from one to another, moved from software development, now moving into solving business problem using automation, engaging with businesses, engaging them, documenting some of their needs, solving these problems, and then recommending tools that will help to optimize the way they do their work. So pretty much. Just to wrap up on this slide, um, I've mentioned that now. I hope I am not against time. Trying to be mindful of time. Okay. Yes. Now, opportunity comes. You'll be wondering, okay, I have the skill. Maybe I've ticked the checkbox and say, oh yes, I can do all of this. Okay. So where are the opportunities? Where do I showcase my skills? Where do I let the world see what I'm capable of? Are you still with me? Yes, so let's
Yes, ma, we
continue.
can still hear you.
Okay, great, great. Now, opportunities, where do they come from? I just listed three things here, but they are, when you have a word that is stomached, that's a word that has plenty meaning. That is what you are seeing here. It comes from visibility. What do I mean by visibility? Um, let's start this way. Um, Opportunity does not come just because yes I've known this. um I now know how to build JavaScript, or I know how to build a web application. No, it doesn't come because you are ready. um they come because you are visible, because you are seen, because they know that this is who Ramat is. Yes, yes, they come because you are seen, because you are known. They come because you are in the right place at the right time. That's when opportunity comes. That's where, when you know that you are in tech or you are trying to break into tech, you have to have it at the back of your mind that you must make yourself visible. You must make yourself seen. So parents, if you have your daughters who have shown some of this potential in the world of technology, please don't hide them. Showcase them. Let them be visible. It doesn't mean there's one book I read that says show your work. It's different from maybe you're trying to show off, but you're just trying to make your child visible, or document what they are doing. Keep it in any way of what visibility means to you, where they can look back on it and say, oh yes, she did this. Oh yes, or she did that. Or even if it's a tech girl who you are basically just emerging and you are currently learning one course or the other. Please be visible about your journey. Be visible, because that is where opportunity comes. Because opportunity comes from there. Now, and like I mentioned, it's also that you belong to the right room. Right room, by that I mean the community. You belong, just like this community right here. If you do not belong to this community, you might not have the opportunity to even recognize that there is a significant recognition for ICT girls, you will not even know because you are not in the right community. But if in the right community, you come across the right resources, you come across the right opportunities, you come across the right positioning. So communities, visibility, they are very key. They are very key in helping us to be identified, to attract opportunity, to attract what truly belongs to us. Right. Um, they also come when you ask questions. Opportunity comes from there. When you share what you're learning, when you take action, when um, you find the right job. So it, it may be by it may because of your sometimes your first opportunity might not even be a job. It might just be a chance, like someone just asking you to show them what you can do. I think one of my real opportunity, if I can reflect particularly, was also when okay, yes, in one of my journey, I evolved from being a system engineer where I was fixing computers. I was crimping cables, like fixing computer. That cable that you see connecting multiple computers. I had worked that journey as well. So one of the most beautiful chance I had was where I was working at that time. There was a need to start off um, the software units. Basically, it was more of system fixing issues and all of that. But they now wanted to start building solution. They needed to just start a different unit that build solutions, right? Build web app, mobile app, and the likes. So, and then I just it was just an interest that okay, I have been crimping cable, doing that, do that. Okay, let me go and see what is happening in the software world. So I just joined, and it was just one experienced developer that was hired at that time. So I became the number two. But while I was still there, they will still come. Ramax, they need to fix one computer. I will just run. But I was just new at that time. I joined the team. So what did I do? I was learning from that experienced hire, that experienced developer, right? So I said, okay, I'm interested. Although prior to then, I had already learned how to build solution. I had certificates in Java, some Java. I had books. I'm talking about 2000 and maybe 2008, 2009. You see that I'm an OG. Back then, that was when I started software development, in full time. So it was around that time. So I know I have my book, Dirty. I bought it at that Obalende bookshop. That Obalende bookshop is still there today anyway. But then now we have so many ebooks here that we can buy and download and we are good to go. Or we just go online and learn on LinkedIn Learning or Coursera and we are good to go. I hope I'm not taking much time. I just wanted to expand on where opportunity comes. And let us take it home. So as I was saying, so I then now basically what I was just doing was um, I asked my that experienced developer that okay, I want to how do I do every time they will just call me, Rama, come and feed that. Now I've not really established myself yet. So he just gave me one thing. A source code of a solution. He built one school portal back then. He now gave me, sat me down, just told me this is what's happening here, this is what is happening here, this is what's happening here. But I had the idea because I had also I had attended NIT back then, so I knew object oriented programming. I knew some of the fundamentals. So he just tried to put me in shape of what C sharp is all about and using Microsoft Visual Studio Code. So I sat with it. I had that my Delta book, C sharp, was reading it, I was reading it. Okay, I was just trying to understand, trying to figure my way out. It was just a chance that created itself. I hope you're following my story. So that was the opportunity that came. So it wasn't as if I planned it out that I'm going to be a software developer. I've tried to let you know that I've adapted from one role to another. It's not different from what I'm telling you today. That's how I'm still finding myself in tech. So a chance will just present itself and you are opportune to just make sure say, yes, I'm ready. And then you clock like okay, I knew there's this my children will always say clock it now. And you just lock it in or you clock it if I'm going to use that word. Like you just seize that opportunity. And that's how I became a software developer. He gave me that source code. I studied it, and we had a project at that time. It was building it. It would just say, okay, see what I've done here, duplicate it here. Then I was always curious. I was always asking questions. I was just always wanting to know things. Gradually, I saw myself handling an enterprise application myself from just a simple source code that was handed over to me. And I kept at it. I was curious. I was reading book. I was doing research. Every day I was asking questions. I will ask questions. I'll ask questions out of his life. I will ask questions. So yes, so I hope I've been able. So it's not about you taking action. I took action by asking questions. The community at that time was basically me joining Stack Overflow. It wasn't like here. And then visibility around that time was just attending events, trying to just be
So sorry,
present.
ma. So you have 5 minutes morning, ma.
Okay, so I will wrap up. I just have after this, I'll have one more slide so that we can call it a day. Now, as I have earn, build, and scale. So tech is not just about you getting a tech job. No. First you earn, you get skills, um, you get paid, then you build. Um, you basically just create solution, platforms, system. You scale, you position yourself, you grow, you multiply your impact. That is how tech, creates independence. Now, so basically, you not just not just income, but basically freedom. So you earn, you build, you scale. That's when you have earned an opportunity, for instance, then if you are doing that. Um, what you need to start is basically just start learning. If you're already doing that, start learning. Start learning. Start exploring. Start asking questions. Um, because the future you are dreaming about, it won't wait for you to be ready. Oh. It won't wait. It will just come boom, and you must be ready to grab it. So, but when it's ready, it will reward you when you start. I think I'll take a pause from here. Thank you.
All right, ma. Thank you so much, Ramat, ma. Thank you so much for the insight, ma. I think one of the things that really stood out for me was the fact that you said that tech is not coding, because I think majority would always come from the aspect of once you mention tech like this, the next thing that comes to their brain is coding. I love the
Yes.
the us that there is more to just tech, not just really coding. We have other parts of tech as well too. And then I also believe that we've been able to pick a whole lot from what Ms. Bramat has said this night. And then also put it at the back of our mind that you don't need to ask anybody for permission. The more you're waiting for permission, the more you're wasting time. The more you're wasting time. And so I believe we have our questions now. If you have any questions, please drop in the comment section or you can raise your hand. It's question time now. Do we have anyone with questions?
Ma,
All right.
please,
Amisi.
what's the meaning of tech?
Okay.
All
Thank you.
right.
What's your name?
My
What's
name
your
is
name?
my name is Baraka.
Baraka. Oh, lovely name. Thank you for being here. So tech is a short word of technology, right? And then technology is the ability, or technology as a word is it means different things, but I want to drive it home so that it makes sense to you. Technology is when you use a tool, maybe your computer or your phone, to solve a problem. So that problem can be that you create one beautiful design, and how you have drawn it is not by drawing it with your hand, but you pick up your mouse, you are in front of a computer, and you are able to just draw this beautiful design. So technology has helped you to solve one problem, like drawing that beautiful design about your assignment or something that was to be given to you at school. So technology is just an enabler that helps you to bring to solve some problems and bring it to light. I hope you understand. I'm trying to be as basic as I can. All right, now.
Okay, ma.
Good,
Yes, ma.
good.
Thank you, ma.
You're welcome.
All right. Okay, so do we have more questions? Anyone else with any question? Now is the time to ask questions. So, okay. Okay, I think I have a question to ask. Just one question. So, for me, it's going to be the coding part. So, for those of us that I think all of the classes or training I've seen on coding is paid. So
Okay,
are there maybe like platforms we can visit where we can have access to coding trainings that are free or like a little bit affordable, like for people to
okay,
learn? Because sometimes they'll be like, oh, I really want to learn, but the money is discouraging.
okay.
So yeah,
Yeah.
that's my question now.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ekundaya. So there are tons and tons of resources that are available to learn. It's all about information. It's all about you knowing where to look to. There is this general tool, W3 Schools, is absolutely free for you to learn. And it's just w3schools.com. You can learn Python, you can learn SQL, you can learn, quite a number of coding. And then for for children who are basically even starting out, Scratch. Aside from these two that I've mentioned, YouTube is a university on its own. There are individuals like myself who have dedicated their time and provided a playlist of different programming language that you can basically just pick from one chapter to another, and you'll be grounded in that skill. So there are tons and tons of online tools that are free. YouTube is your go-to. W3 School is another, and quite a number of all of these platforms. They have their communities where they are basically just teaching you and I how to learn these skills. Microsoft has a free portal where you can learn different skills. So it's all about knowing it. They have academy where you can learn. So you don't have to actually pay to learn these skills. But sometimes because we need an instructor led or to be guided, or have a mentor or have a coach, that's why we are always want to enroll in a school where we can pay and then learn these skills. So I hope that answer your questions. I also thought to share some of these resources. I can send that through the organizer, just so that every one of us can have access to some of the resources I've created. I hope that answer your questions.
Please, ma, is there an app for Scratch?
Is there an app for Scratch? Yes, Scratch exists on the web where you can sign up yourself, and it also exists as an app. So if you have a tablet, either maybe Amazon Fire or Android tablet, you can actually go to the Play Store, right, and download the Scratch app. Alternatively, you can just go to the website. I can also drop the link in the chat where you can simply just sign up and start learning. They have a bunch of resources to learn different use cases, how to build certain games and stuff, and you can model that and learn and build your own solution. You can basically just mimic it. You copy and then learn the structure, then you understand, and then you can build yours as well.
All right, thank you very much, Ma. There's a message here, Ma, saying that can you please share your YouTube channel with us, Ma,
Okay, okay,
so we can have access to all of this and many more.
okay. I've not been very what's the word? Like be regular, consistent with my YouTube channel, but I will share it anyway. What I'm going to share through the organizer It's just list of curated resources, right, that you can leverage on. So I'm going to ensure I share that. So my YouTube channel is not because I've been extremely occupied with automation lately. I keep transforming to one. So my new role, there's a lot of learning and adapting and moving and all of that. So yes, but there are resources I've also used, and I've also used to also teach children and my mentees. I will definitely send that across to you.
All right, ma. Thank you so much, ma, for this section, ma. We are really, you really, really like laid the foundation, and I want to believe that we can all move with that foundation that we laid, that you've laid, and we can start building on it. So our next webinar or training that would have we have a whole lot of people giving testimony from this class that was because I joined this class and I didn't make any excuse. I laid foundation and I built on it. From there we move on. So thank you very much, Ma, once again. So yeah, speaking of laying foundation, I want to let us know that there's a certificate for this training. That certificate of attendance for this training is still part of laying foundation. It's part of you letting people see you being visible. You have a certificate. When people ask you, oh, do you have a certificate to prove that you've gone for a training or you've gone for a class? You can always show that out. So we have a certificate of attendance for this training. It has to you, not just only for you to just keep it. It has to you, it has to your business, it helps improve your own self-worth. So in case you want to get your certificate, you can reach out to the organizers. Okay. And then there's also a link dropped for Scratch. For those asking for the app, there's a link dropped on Scratch after this training, and more updates will be dropped on that as well. So thank you so much for joining. Dr. Rukoya, do you have something to add to everything? Ma?
Oh yes. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining. And special greetings to our dear guest speaker, Mrs. Ramala Sisi. In fact, you've given us such a beautiful presentation, such an I hope now to some of us here, because looking at the analysis of the Google form we placed out, a lot of people said they are not aware of what tech is or skills. About 61 point something percent of people. I was shocked myself, because I was like, we are in this in this modern age, in this tech age. Some people are still saying they don't have idea or they don't know what it is. So it's an honor to have you as a professional in this to come and talk to us and expose us to a lot of things. We appreciate you so much. And to all our participants too, we appreciate your presence. Please let us pick important things that they have discussed with us tonight, and let us work with it. Yeah, our lecturers are she has really spoken. We should learn. We should not even don't take permission. We are not saying you should not take permission from your people, but have this intention, this good intention, that you want to learn, you want to grow, you want to flourish, you want to, you want to be seen, you want to be visible. So I'm sure that's one of the thing our guest speaker emphasized on, that you should be visible. Let people know what you have learned. Let them see it through you. So you need to be encouraged, and that's why we are encouraging you. Please, let's start learning all these skills. They are very important for us. Don't let us stay back, and don't let us say it's for men alone. It's for women too. You should involve. Don't stay back and say, oh, I'm meant to be in the kitchen. You're not meant to be in the kitchen. No, you have to get involved. You have to strive. You have to work along. That does not stop you from doing other things that you will do at home. Okay, so I encourage us all to strive and excel in learning more about tech skills. So thank you all. I appreciate you. I guess I'll be stopping here. I appreciate you all, and God bless you all. So thank you. Have a wonderful night. So we meet you tomorrow, same time. Please, let us come in mass. Come with your friends. You see what you have tonight is a very very big stuff that we don't expect. So come with more people so that you can learn more about what it is to be in tech, and to learn how to get involved. So thank you very much. I'll be stopping here. Thank you very much. So Saint Jen, please take over. Thank you all.
Ma, thank you. Thank
All
you
right, ma. Thank you,
for this
everyone, for
program.
joining.
Ma,
Ma,
thank you. I want to
We
ask
are
a
listening.
question. What are the ways to succeed in
Ah.
tech?
Mm.
Okay.
Hello, ma. Are you
Do
still
we
on?
still have time for this question? This our little princess is asking question. She's really the
She
curious
started
one.
to spare like 2 minutes, ma.
She's the curious one in the house.
Yes, he is indeed. So thank you, my darling Baraka, for asking.
Mm.
So you asked what are the ways to succeed. You see, the ways to succeed that I'm going to leave with you tonight is what you have done right now is one way to succeed. Like you unmute, you have that confidence to ask this question is one way. Ensure that you own that your confidence. Don't let anyone take it away from you. Don't let anything shake it. So you need that confidence. You need that mind to also be able to be curious. You are curious. You ask what is technology. You ask how can I be succeed in tech? You need that curiosity. Then you must have that interest in learning. You must not use all your time to watch cartoon or stay on Netflix or play with games. You need time to learn. Just be curious. There's nothing stopping you to be seen on Al Jazeera or be seen on channels to say, oh yes, look at that little princess. She built this game with scratch. Nothing is stopping you. So know that you can be that. So just keep that confidence, keep the curiosity on, and make sure that you read, you learn, and you just learn to build amazing things so that you can be seen, you can be visible. That I will leave just three with you. Those are ways to be successful.